Get ready to enter the Thrivetime Show.
Started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, and we'll show you how to get here. Started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom, now we here.
We started from the bottom, now we're on the top. Teaching you the systems to get what we got. Colin Dixon's on the hooks, I break down the books. Z's bringing some wisdom and the good looks. As the father of five, that's why I'm a dive. So if you see my wife and kids, please tell them hi. It's the C and Z up on your radio. And now 3, 2, 1, here we go.
We started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom, and we'll show you how to get.
For anybody watching online, for everybody who's here, welcome to the Dojo of Mojo Fo Show. My name is Clay Clark. This is Aaron Antis. He runs Oklahoma's largest home building company. This is Clay Stairs. He does not run Oklahoma's largest home building company, and he's a politician. So please feel free to heckle him throughout the day. Stairs, what is your elected title these days? What is it?
I am a member of the Oklahoma State House of Representatives. Woohoo! Yeah, just got elected last year. You guys, about 4 years ago, Clay and I. Clay's been my coach. I have a company called the Leadership Initiative. I do business coaching as well. And Clay's been my coach for the last 12 years. And it was about 4 years ago, we were in a meeting, and Clay looked at me and said, "You should run." And I said, "I will run, and I will win." And I did. And so we just won last year, so I've just finished my first session, and I'm already campaigning because I'm running again in 24.
There he is. That's Clay Stairs.
So it's good
All right.
to be here.
So we're going to open up our book here to page 5. Page 5. We're starting on page 5, page 4, and page 5. And then I also have you have a big stack of stuff. So I want to go over the stack of stuff. Okay. First thing is tomorrow night we have a Christmas party here. Tomorrow night it's going to be at 6 o'clock. And if you look at the schedule, you have a flyer here for the Christmas party. At 11:43, a pig will be poached promptly. At 11:43, someone will be slaughtering a pig. Because we have a pig roasting, we're going to roast a pig out there, but the pig has to die first, so that's going to happen out there, so that's exciting.
It's best.
You don't want to be outside at 11:43 is what I'm saying. Okay. What's happening? All right, 5 o'clock there. We'll get ready. The mariachis will be here. We got a petting zoo that'll be here. Llamas, various animals, because you can't have a Christmas party without petting zoo. We're going to have arm wrestling competition, push-up competitions, free throw competitions, speed haircuts. I own a haircut chain, so we're having a speed haircut competition for the fastest haircut.
What could go wrong there?
That goes well about 4% of the time.
Not a thing.
We got helicopter rides. Helicopter rides we'll be doing tomorrow night. So if you want to ride helicopters, you can do that. A lot of stuff. We have a pep reading contest, which we give away $500 to the winner, but it's not worth it. But we do it, and someone always does it. It's awesome. And the way it works is whoever cries last wins. And so that's an incredible thing. So a lot if you want to stick around for that, that's going to be tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Also, today and every day, we'll do about a 50-minute sprint, we call it, or a teaching session, and then we'll do a 15-minute question and answer session. So it's like 50 minutes of training, teaching, and then we'll answer questions. Any questions you put on the whiteboard, we'll answer them. And there's no bad students, just bad teachers. So if you have any questions, we'll answer them for you. Also, on your stack of stuff here, this is a copy of my calendar. I didn't print it as small as possible because I hate you. I printed it because it just kind of came out that way. But I want to make sure that you know we'll talk about this more. You need a schedule. And then this right here is a to-do list. This is a copy of my actual to-do list from this week, just so this will become more relevant throughout the day. This is the to-do list. This is the calendar.
Looking through where is it?
This
What's
is the
paper?
this right here is the agenda for the Christmas party. Okay, great. So we got some stuff there. So now let's get into our stuff. Let's go to page 4. Page 4. So this is not a pyramid scheme, but it always starts with a pyramid, and it's not a Freemason conference either. Okay, so here we go. So page 4. What you want to do is you want to figure out what are your goals. Okay, so it's very important that you do this. And my goals and your goals will be very different. And one of the things I find, having worked with 160 clients, all the clients, their goals are different. So I got a pastor I work with right now. And I try to be very vague, so not to throw anyone under the bus, but it's a real story. And he told me, my goal is not to grow. Now, some of you are like, that's offensive. We're in America. Is this like a communist? I don't know. But his goal, he says, my whole thing is we got about 100 members, and I just want to know everybody and then keep it that size kind of. I'm like, so you turn down new members? You say, nope, no salvation for you. We're all full. And he's like, well, no, but I just don't want to do outreach. I just want to meet everybody. I want to do more. And so that's fine. Then I got another church I work with that happens to be a big church in Texas, and they want to grow. So, but you want to figure out your goals. So if you look here at this pyramid, page 4, I want you to write down your goals off to the right. So we have here the pyramid. The first little area is called family. So you got family goals. So Aaron Antis, I'm going to pick on you.
Yeah.
It says win. And I showed you my calendar. What gets scheduled gets done. That's probably teaching moment of the day, number 1. You can write that down somewhere on page 4 if you want. But what gets scheduled gets done. So with you and your wife, you know, you've been married for how many years?
26.
He's got me beat by 3 years. So when do you schedule time to hang out with your wife?
So every Tuesday night, I take my wife on a date at 6:30. I'm here with Clay usually till 6, and I take off and get home by 6:30. If I get home at 6:31, the date isn't as much fun as if I get home before 6:30. And then Saturday morning, I get up, I go work out with my wife, and that's kind of our main, 2 times we're together, and we spend Saturday morning together. We come home and eat, so that's scheduled
now,
every week.
real quick, I'm going to bring up Steve Currington right here. Steve Currington, and I'm going to have you guys kind of share a mic a little bit like we're in Motown or something. Okay. Look at that. Okay.
Don't make it weird.
They're both married, though.
It
Okay.
just got weird.
So Steve is a mortgage guy. He sells mortgages. He's the Lamborghini driving mortgage guy. And I've worked with you for how long, Steve?
8 years.
8 years. Now, your goals are probably different than Aaron's goals.
Yep.
So, do you work out with your wife?
Oh, yeah.
No.
I don't.
Okay. So
I don't really speak to her. So that's how we stay married for 22 years.
All right. Well, we'll be issuing
She
Steve
likes it
official
better that way.
rebukes throughout the day. Okay. So we move up on the pyramid here. We look at friendship goals. This is big, though, and I want everyone to write this down. When are you going to spend time with these important relationships? So if I have a coaching client, I meet them every week at the same time. Ronnie Morales, where's Ronnie Morales? I harass this guy pre-7 a.m. every single Saturday. He's from Texas. Love this guy. He's great. Just met his wife. They're great people. There they are. But if you don't schedule, again, what gets scheduled gets done. What doesn't get scheduled doesn't get done. So we have these pithy phrases we say, like your network becomes your net worth. Your network becomes your net worth. If you read Proverbs, it says, for a person who surrounds themselves with fools shall suffer harm. Sean, look that up. We'll quote you the actual verse, Proverbs. But it's super important that you're intentional about who you spend time with. So, Steve, when do you spend time with the people that you network with that you deem to be important?
Aaron and I have date night on Monday nights.
Rebuke number 1.
If he doesn't get there by 6:30, it's a bad night. I can tell you that.
Okay, thank you. No, but when do you do that? When do you schedule time?
I mean, my move is my car stuff. I just travel, and I like to fly by and drive.
Please explain your car stuff. Let's put a little meat on that. Let's go to lambrosteve.com. What's your car stuff?
Well, I just quit drinking, so I buy Lambos instead of alcohol.
When you said you just quit drinking, like on Tuesday, or was that?
Oh, yeah, I quit
This
in
morning.
2016.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so this is what you do. You drive Lamborghinis with your Lamborghini club?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, what happened to my video?
Now, Stairs,
Yes.
when do you schedule time with your network to keep certain relationships in flow?
Let's see, Clay. Since I've got my business now, as well as the things that are going on at the Capitol, I've got days that are set up as Capitol days, days that are set up as business days. It's been wonderful with your help. I've been able to create a business that can run with me at a distance. I can micromanage from a distance, which is sweet. And Clay has been able to help me do that. So I'm with my wife. The main relationship that I have in my life is with my wife. We are with one another every evening, and pretty much without fail. When I go to the Capitol, our kids are out of the house, so she goes to the Capitol with me, and so we are together probably. We're probably together 25 hours every week.
All right.
She likes you.
Now-
That's awesome.
Yeah, we love being together. We have a house at the lake, and so we can do the things that we enjoy doing.
Now we go back to page 4. This is hopefully interactive where you're writing down your goals. You want to write down your fitness goals. And again, what you schedule gets done. What you don't schedule doesn't get done. So if you're just by default, whatever's not in the schedule doesn't get done. That's just how it is. No matter what area this is, whatever gets scheduled gets done. All right. We move on to the next box here. Financial goals. Again, what gets scheduled gets done. So like, I'll give you an example. These Reawaken America Tour events that we do, some of you might know about it, some of you might not. I had to transfer $100,000 into the operating fund, which operates at a deficit. So I'm a for-profit that loses money all the time to cover the Tulare event, because we're doing one more event in Tulare, California, coming up in 8 days in California. And I'm doing these events with Eric Trump and General Flynn and Kash Patel, and they're not a profitable thing, okay? But I'm aware of that. I'm not going, God's going to provide. Actually, God has not provided in terms of me being abundant. People say, you'll get a 7-fold return. That's great, and I'm excited if that happens, but it won't. Or it hasn't happened yet. Or think about this. My Eric Coomer lawsuit, I've been sued for defamation by the former head of security and strategy for Dominion, and people are like, we love you. We want to support you. Thank you for what you're doing for our country. So far, we've had 40,000 people in attendance, and they've averaged a donation of $1.60.
Yes.
So it means that they're not.
So we need more people.
It's just math. And it's not mean. No, it's not mean. It's just real. You know what I mean? So when I have $1 million lawsuit, I know what the bills are, and I'm not operating off of a hopium strategy. Does this make sense? I know math really bothers certain people. Certain people are like, brother, you're being negative. I just do math. You know what I mean? Now, if people were donating $100 per person, I would go, people are really giving. But they're not. And I'm not mad. It's just how it is. It's just math. And so people have been telling me for 3.5 consecutive years, you're going to get a 7-fold return. Maybe that's true. Maybe it's not. But right now it's $1.60 per person. Have you ever met somebody who tried to buy something at the store on faith with a credit card that doesn't work?
Yeah.
Have you seen this? And they're like, brother, I don't know how it happened. I know how it happened. You know how it happened too. We know, and you're not going home with those avocados, right? Have you seen this? So we got to schedule time for our finances, okay? The next box here, and Aaron, this is big. When you build a house at Shaw Homes, what's the profit margin you'd like to be ideally? If you finish building a $400,000 house, what's the profit percentage you'd like to be in ideally?
Yeah, between our plans, it's 27 to 32%.
That's what the profit you'd like to make per house you sell.
That's gross, yeah.
Okay, so but it's very clear. You know that.
Yeah.
You're not confused by that. Okay, move on to the next box here. Fun. Steve, let's go back to Steve for fun, Captain Fun. Steve, you like to travel a lot. You recently bought yourself a plane.
Yep.
And please explain your navigation route from Tulsa to the Bahamas. How do you do it?
You get in the airplane and
Step 1. I'm writing this down.
Take off.
fly to Fort Lauderdale and then go to the Bahamas and island hop.
How many people can fit in the plane?
Comfortably, probably like 3, but it says it'll seat 4. But depending on how far you're going, it's actually a good problem to have. It's kind of like having a Lambo. You only have one seat. People are like, can I have a ride? Like,
but you do that for fun.
Yeah, I just do it for fun.
Have you been in the plane, Aaron?
Yeah. It's like basically Aaron's plane.
Let me let Aaron talk about the plane. So when was the last time you were in Steve's plane?
Saturday, I went down to Springfield with a couple builders, or up to Springfield.
Is it terrifying for you being in that plane?
No, because Steve has his own pilot that comes with us.
There it is.
And
there's
so
the piece.
I feel
right there.
much
There.
more safe.
I don't know.
Because if Steve was the pilot, I probably would wear a parachute during the entire flight. It would be not.
Now, listen to what I'm saying. Hopefully we're getting this idea, and I encourage everyone to write this down, okay? This conference is all about action, all right? This is an action conference. I don't really do emotion, but I want you to write this down somewhere on page 4 just so you can argue about it. Maybe you disagree, it's okay. But the word emotion is E-M-O-T-I-O-N, emotion. And I find that the E gets in the way of motion for 99% of people I meet. The emotion. So they're like, this is an example. This is an example. And Jackson Lawmeyer, you remember the first Reawaken America Tour event we did in Tulsa. And I remember that I announced on a show, I was on One America, and I said, General Flynn and I, Mike Lindell, we're teaming up to do an event in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's going to be great. You can name your price. Here's my cell phone number, 918-851-0102, 918-851-0102. Text in, name your price. Well, we had 50,000 people text in or email in to get a ticket. 50,000, 50,000. Now, there was nobody who worked here who had the ability to sell tickets except for me because we weren't like this amazing money-losing conference thing yet.
Yet.
Please build it, oh wise wizard, this amazing money-losing thing. Maybe you'll be sued along the way. How exciting. So I'm selling tickets, and my wife is like, you're going to sell all 5,000 tickets? I said, yeah. She goes, where's it going to be? I said, well, I think it's going to be at this mega church because this pastor told me I could use his church. Well, after we sold 2,000 tickets, pastor calls me and says, can we meet? I said, sure, let's meet. We meet. He says, you can't have it at my church. You cannot have the event. I said, but I've already sold 2,000 tickets, and you've told me you would. He's like, hey, And this is what he said to me, true story. He said, God is telling me to tell you not to do it. And I said, well, God is telling me to tell you to screw off. This is pre-Christ for me. This is real. And Jackson's seen the evolution a little bit. So this is me. I'm just like, I'm kind of learning Christian cursing now. I'm trying to figure out that whole thing. And I was like, and he's like, what'd you just say? I'm a pastor. And I'm like, well, I think you're a bastard. And he's like, what? I said, you told me we could have the event at your place, and now you changed your mind. He says, well, God told me. I said, well, God told me to tell you to stop changing your mind. And he's like, what? Saith the Lord. I'm like, saith the Lord. Well, there it is. Let's go. Here we go. And so there's a lot of people, though, that do this with take God out of it. They just, their yes is not their yes, and their no is not their no, and they don't do facts. So emotion gets in the way of motion, okay? So this conference is a motion conference. So I told my wife, well, we're going to have to find another venue. So I called you.
Yep.
And I also called every church that I knew at that time. Yeah. And when another church says, oh, Clay, we would love to host you. We are all in. So I announced the venue number 2. Then the pastor calls me. God's been telling me we shouldn't do it. Second church to Baal, second mega church in Tulsa. And I'm going, well, this is why I don't go to church. This is pre-Christ for me. This is real. This is inner dialogue. This is real. I go to church now. I go to Sheridan Church like Sheridan Church. But I was like, this is why I don't go. This is what happens. So I call Aaron. I'm like, Aaron, please find a church. Meanwhile, I'm just going to keep selling tickets. But I have no idea where people are going to have the event. I mean, we're selling tickets to an event. I don't have a venue. And my wife's like, where are you going to have it? I'm like, we'll have it at the Riverwalk, outside, inside, in the river.
We'll figure it out.
We'll hope, change the whole thing. Okay. So you found Rhema.
I did.
Rhema stepped up. And then they wanted security, the SWAT team. How many police officers did we have to have?
We had the entire SWAT team inside the building. We had 26 police officers on top of that, and we had.
I remember that event.
Oh yeah. It was wild.
Because everybody on the tour is basically high profile. So that was the thing. So
interestingly, we had 26 police officers and 26 porta potties. It was the number 26 was.
It was the number.
Which means, okay. Yeah. So anyway, we're doing this event, and I'm getting bills, and I'm recognizing we are definitely going to lose a lot of money on this one. So we did the first event, and then after that, I remember talking to my wife, and she said, you've come up with a great way to generate a lot of hit pieces. You don't make any money on these. Do you want to keep going? What's your deal? I'm like, well, we're just going to do one. That's it. So did one. Then Flynn called me, General Flynn, who I respect a lot. He says, can we do one more in Tampa? And I said,
that went good.
Yes. So we did one more. Then we did one more. Now we're on their 22nd, one more. Okay. So we got one more, and then hopefully, but anyway, but I have to do the math. Hopefully this is communicating with somebody. I have to do the math. So I have to look at it and go, I got to sell a kidney, maybe. Is it ethical to sell a kidney? Can I sell both kidneys? What, because I look, okay? And somebody out here, you've got a big dream and a big vision and big plans, but you're not into math. So we got to do the math thing, okay? So we need to do somewhere on page number 4 is we need to write down what it's going to cost per year for you to live the lifestyle that you want to live. And this is like the dun-dun-dun-dun moment for a lot of people. Because some people don't want to put, and there's a lot of like geopolitical / spiritual stuff. Some people tell me, I don't write the number down because that's negative. Okay, I don't know what to do. Some people say, I write the number down because it's positive. Some people say, I don't do math. I'm more of a visionary. Like, you're homeless. You're homeless.
But
no, I live with my sister.
With a vision.
So math is a big thing. Okay, so we're going to walk you through this process, but it starts with math, okay? It's so important you do the math. So I know on these Reawaken America Tour events, I know what it costs me. I know what it's going to cost. I know how much we're going to lose. I'm aware of it. So I'm not shocked by it, okay? We just got to do math, okay? So now we move on to page number 5. Page number 5. Now, page number 5, you need to write down somewhere on box number 1 at the very top, and this box here corresponds with this right here. This is the whole system. This is the secret system. They don't want you to know. Okay, so box 1, you got to figure out your revenue goals. What are your yearly gross revenue goals? And you have to write that number down. You have to write that number down. You can't have a number that you're not writing down, okay? So I'm going to go back to Aaron, then we'll go to Clay Stairs on this. You got to write the number down for gross sales. Now, since you and I have worked together, when I first met you, Shaw was doing how much sales?
We were 15 million.
And how much sales did we do last year? I guess we're in December, so how much sales?
142 million.
So from 15 million to 142 million.
142
You know, it seems
is
like that
greater.
number's a little bit higher, but I don't do math.
Okay, so it's math.
Yeah.
Okay, but you got to figure out your gross. Okay, now the next thing you want to write down is your weekly gross revenue goals. Weekly gross revenue goals. So, Aaron, if you want to sell $150 million of houses, and the average house you're selling is $400,000,
Yeah.
you do 150 divided by. How many houses do you have to sell roughly, Aaron? I mean, like 300 and
Yeah. 7.5 a week.
to hit your goal.
Yeah.
Okay. Steve, mortgage guy. Mortgages, by the way, the word mortgage means death grip, so be careful around Steve.
You're welcome.
Okay. But Steve has a program called Will Work for Lamborghinis, and what he'll do is every time that you use him for a mortgage, he'll use that money to buy a Lamborghini. It's an incredible program. It really is helping a lot of men in
That's
their late
actually
40s.
my revenue goal. It's the number of Lamborghinis, not in
I've
money.
actually heard Steve on the phone.
You'll buy me a Lamborghini? No, buy you a Lamborghini.
I've actually heard Steve on the phone. He was walking around here. I'm only listening to one side of the call, and Steve's like, listen, if you don't use me, I can't afford my new Lamborghini. You realize how expensive these are? You got to go. I mean, help me out here. You know. So it's an interesting program you have. But Steve, when someone gets a mortgage, let's say for $400,000, how do you make money?
We get paid based on like a small percentage of the total loan amount.
So let's say you got 1%, you'd make $4,000.
Right.
And you're aware of how much you get per deal.
Yep.
All right. So you're aware of the math.
Right.
Now, you're a business consultant. That's what we do.
Yes.
And so I own other businesses and I'm involved in other things too. But the way consulting works is we charge a client $1,700 a month, and we operate at a 20% profit margin. That means we make $340 a month profit. That's the total profit that comes in per customer, unless we're a non-equity partner deal where we get a small percentage of the growth. That's what I prefer. But so you're aware of that.
Yes.
And why is that important for you to be aware of how many clients you need to hit your financial goals?
Well, it lets Clay. If I know how many clients I need to hit my goal, then I know when I need to grow, and I know when I've hit my goal. So many times, how many of you guys have been in this spot before where you may not have that number that you're targeting, and so in your mind, it's just always more. Anybody know what I'm talking about? More, and you never feel like you get to that number of more. How many have been there before? You just never feel like you get there, and you're just always working to get there, just not there, not enough. So
now I'm going to help you on this. This is important to know this, okay? So we go to the box number 2, break-even numbers. You have to know how many deals it takes to break even. Like, you have to know. So just to be super blunt, super clear, just try to give you examples that we can all relate to. So I have a haircut chain, okay? We have like 4,000 people that get their haircut there a month, approximately, okay? We don't make any money until we've cut about the 2,600th haircut, if that makes sense. We need about 2,600 haircuts to break even, all right?
A day?
Per month.
Oh.
Yeah. And then for the
A lot of hair falling on the ground.
this is important to know, though. So people always ask me, well, Clay, why don't you open up more stores? Because I don't want to open up any more stores. You know, and the world wants me to open another store. You should open another store. No. Okay. I'm happy with 3 stores. Why? Because we got to manage a staff of 47 employees, and there's all that. And then I pay myself, this just in, per haircut, $2 per haircut. Okay. So if we do 4,000 haircuts a month, Steve, you're a math guy, and I pay myself $2 per haircut. How much money do I pay myself?
Give me a second here.
Carry the 1, move the 2.
8,000?
Yes. And then what we do is if the month, if there's any profit left, my partner and I split that. And so we do draws on that. So if you were going to buy a haircut business and buy a haircut chain, that's how the model works there. And I'm just trying to help somebody get some clarity on the numbers. Another example is on like the Reawaken tour. It's not mathematically possible to even break even unless we're at about 3,400 people in attendance. It's just not possible. It's not possible. And we average, so these are just like mathematicals. It's because we let people name their price, and the average person wants to spend about $60 on a ticket, whereas like the Kansas City Chiefs will charge you $500, and people say, yes. Taylor Swift, $500. Yes. Saving America? No. But for $60, I can do it. So that's how that was, just math. And it's not negative, it's just facts. And a lot of times people bring their bias to it. So I had a lady, sweet lady, she's probably watching the show right now. She used to work in the NFL. And she tells me, Aaron, you tell me what's wrong with this story. She says, I want to help you on the Reawaken tour.
Yeah.
And I used to work in the NFL. And I can tell you that in the NFL, people are paying like $1,000 for stage side seats or field side seats. you should charge $1,000 for the seats over here, and then you could charge $5,000 for the premium that are right on like the 50-yard line. So if you could do that, and I'm an optimizer. I am a ticket income optimizer. I've done it for the NFL. I've done it for the NBA, and I can tell you, if you can raise that price for like $5,000 for you get a photo with you and Eric Trump, and you get a photo with Mike Lindell and General Flynn, $5,000.
Yeah.
Why didn't that work for my life?
Because you don't have any NFL players on the stage.
Okay, that's
and
one.
That's what they'll pay for.
Yeah, and also like our speakers, like at our events, General Flynn wants to meet every single person. Like Mike Lindell wants to meet every single person. We have a very different mindset to it. We're not trying to make as much money as possible. We're trying to actually wake people up to what's going on with the world today. So it's a very different thing. But I'm not unaware of the math, if that makes sense to you, okay? So these principles I'm teaching you, they're going to apply, but maybe differently if you were an NFL team versus if you were a conference, okay, or a haircut chain. Third box, you got to figure out how many hours you're willing to work. Now, this is important, and I encourage everyone to look this up and assume I've lost my mind, okay? In the book of Genesis, in the book of Exodus, that's 2 books, Genesis, Exodus. In those 2 books, God lays out the pattern to work 6 days and rest on the 7th. Who has read the book of Genesis or Exodus? Who's aware of the word Genesis or Exodus? Okay, so Genesis, the pattern is established. Work on the 6th day, rest on the 7th. Do you agree with that? Am I out of my mind?
Oh, no, I 100% agree with that. Yeah.
That's the pattern.
That is the pattern. It's not a 40-hour work week that came from one of the United States presidents back during bad times.
Now, do you agree with what I'm saying, that the pattern of 6 days is in Genesis and Exodus? And if you disagree, feel free. I'm over here.
No, it's there in Genesis. This is true.
Okay, so the founding fathers, this is back when everyone was named after a Bible character, so everyone's like Stephen, Zephaniah, Stephen. The founding fathers, they rolled over here from where they fly in from, where they drive in from, where they get in from. How'd they get here? They got here on a boat.
On a boat.
Nina, Penta, what was the Santa
Maria.
There we go. We're all in it. Okay, they show up, and they're like, hey, we got to build a house or build huts or whatever, and we got to feed ourselves, because if we don't grow enough corn or raise enough food, we're going to die. Now, these homeboys weren't sitting around thinking about life balance. Brother Hezekiah, I have life balance issues, and I've got a headache. I've got anxiety when I plant the corn. I don't think I'm reaching my purpose. And Amos would say, well, you need to shut the hell up or we're all going to die. Brother Zephaniah, I think I've got COVID. You need to shut the hell up or we're going to die. Brother Thomas, I think I got a headache. I got anxiety. I feel like my life purpose isn't quite being utilized by sowing seeds all day. Well, you need to shut the hell up and plant the seeds. So that was the way it was, right? Am I on the same page? Now, as we industrialized and whatever happened, all of a sudden now you got people that can specialize. And now, how many of you have been on YouTube this year? Isn't like every third commercial an emotional coach ad or a mental health ad? Like, do you have mental health problems? Have you seen these ads? And it's always someone who's out of their mind. They're like, since I found my mental health person, my life has been great. And you're like, I don't know, have you seen this? Have you been to the mall? Who's been to a mall? Who's been to the mall? Have you been to Walmart? Go to Walmart at 2 a.m. tonight. It's a blasty blast. It's like a carnival in there. It's like Ricky Lake. You can see a bearded lady in there. You're going to see purple hair. It's incredible. It's incredible. It's a festival of lights. It's like Sodom and Gomorrah. It's like the days of Lot. You can see the whole deal. It's awesome. Every one of the display computers doesn't have a button. Have you seen this? Because someone's like, oh, I'm going to take that button. I'm going to take that button home right now. Have you seen that? All the display TVs have like a crack in them because someone's like, pa, pa. Right? Have you seen this? Oh, man. And the mask holes are out in full force at night. Mask holes. It's a word. Okay, so that's what happens. It's a real thing. And so we have a culture now where everybody's got an anxiety problem. Everybody's got some issue. Everyone's got some. I'm just trying to help you get some clarity. And I want you to write your answer in the box. You don't have to answer the box that I'm not. You don't have to answer the way I'm answering, but you put that number. You got to figure out how many hours a week you're willing to work. Now, in 1938, I'm not sure if this is in the Bible. You tell me. There's a lesbian who is married to the president who's a socialist. See, FDR was a socialist and his wife was a lesbian. Okay. And the lesbian's like, hey, we need to roll out a 40-hour work week. And the socialist goes, that's cool, lesbian. And then they slept in separate beds. Real talk. This happened. How many of you know this? Who've read history? FDR, married to a lesbian. How's that going? Okay, anyway, so they roll out the 40-hour work week, and the idea was to get more people dependent on the government. So now, in 1938, the 40-hour work week was rolled out. And now most people who I know who are adults go, is it ethical to work 41 hours? Are you okay? Are you okay? Your husband works 41 hours. Are you okay? Oh, my God, are you okay? I was on YouTube. There's a mental health commercial for your husband. 41 hours. Okay, so people, and again, think about it. Think about all the successful people you've met. Think about all the super successful. I've interviewed NBA players, Hall of Fame players, top speakers, top trainers, business, the co-founder of Square, the guy who used to run Yum Brands, the homeboy who started FUBU, and Stairs. How many of these people who are super successful worked 40 hours a week?
Yeah, pretty much zero.
We have zero. I've yet to find one. So the question is, how many hours a week are you willing to work? I'm not going to argue with it, but you just got to block out time in your schedule to do that. And so I'm going to tell you what I do, and then you might say, well, that's why you look like Yoda. You look terrible because you. Okay, that's fine. Everyone just block out your own schedule. It's fine. But this is the thing. I like to work 6 days a week and wrap up at 6. That's what I like to do. And you might say, you're crazy. It's okay. Someone watching online, you want to come kill me? I'll be here until 6 o'clock on Saturday. Every Saturday, come find me. I'll be here. Because that's what I do. And people can't handle it. Adult men are like, are you okay? Do you hate your family? Do you hate your family? Are you okay? Are you a family hater? No, I love my family. In fact, I work 6 days a week. And I do that because I think I'm the only person that I know who does this all the time. You know? And then I go, well, wait a minute. No, I'm not. I got Aaron Antis, you also work 6 days.
Yes, I do.
Oh, my God. And then I start looking around. I go, all my very successful clients all work at least over 40 hours a week, but you got to block out time for it. And we're in a world where the world tells you you're some sort of weirdo if you work more than 40 hours a week. So big answer for somebody out there, block out time. And if it's 40 hours, do it. Do 40 hours. Great. If it's going to be 60 hours, block it out. But you need to block out time to work. Now, this just in. The average American, Sean, look it up, is spending 11.3 hours per day on social media consuming videos. According to Nielsen, 11.3 hours is the average. The average. 11.3 hours per day. Now, Aaron, that's a lot of time.
That's most of your awake time. Yeah.
That's a lot of time.
Yeah.
11.3 hours. So I work with a lot of wonderful clients, and I'm like, how is it possible that you didn't call your leads? How is it possible you didn't write your content for your website? How is it possible you didn't hire someone, fire someone, whatever? One guy I worked with, it took him, not kidding, took him 4 years, almost 5 years to hire somebody.
Whoa.
I worked with this guy for 4 years. Every week I'm like, you need to implement the hiring process. And every week he's like, yeah, I want to, but the thing is we got soccer on Saturday. Friday I got this. It was a me day on Tuesday. It was my daughter's birthday on Thursday. We always take off her birthday. And it's my birthday back to back, so the week was kind of shot. And then we had Thanksgiving, and I take off the week of Thanksgiving, you know. And then we got Christmas, and the whole month of December is just shot to hell. But then you think about January, New Year, New You. I was starting to get on my fitness grind. March, you know, a lot of rain coming in. I don't do well when it rains. That's why I only talk to you an hour a week. That's why I'm right there. So you got to block out time. I'm talking to this guy, and he's making a lot of money. Same industry as Steve Currington doing mortgages. And this guy, you tell me, folks, if you got leads coming in, and you're making, let's say, $4,000 to $5,000 per mortgage, and your biggest limiting factor is you need to hire someone else to call your leads, what would you do, Aaron?
I would hire a couple people till I had enough.
So this guy's bringing in a lot more money than he's paying me. He's paying me $1,700 a month. He's bringing in like $40,000 a month. But every week he's like, I just can't keep up with the leads.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, I know the answer. You need to do the interview.
Yeah.
Every week, a group interview of people. He's like, I want to, but Wednesdays, they pop up. I'm like, then do a Saturday. I can't work Saturday because of soccer. Tuesday, well, the kids have dance class. Oh, you should probably shoot yourself. I don't know what you want to do. I mean, wow. Am I the only one who sees the world like this? Am I the only one who sees this? Okay, so you got to block out time. Next box.
Now,
Okay.
do you guys see how these first 3 boxes, just these first 3 boxes can be a game changer for you? A complete game changer. I know my goals. I know the big number that I'm wanting to hit. I know how many clients I'm going to need to have to hit that goal. And I know how many hours I want to work each week.
So important.
You guys, just those, we could like drop the mic, conference over. That's huge. Those 3 pieces right there can be a complete game changer for you in your company.
Just to throw one more thing on top of it, the other thing is when you've decided these things and you know the number of hours you're willing to work, it's amazing how when you've worked this out, if you're married, you better work this out with your spouse, and they better know what those hours are, and you better both be in agreement about it, or else you're going to split that business in half. Seriously.
Well, you get 40%.
Yeah, that's true.
Judges usually say 40.
Okay, now let me pull this up. Sean, pull up my calendar for not this week, but the week before, just so you can look into that. Okay, then we'll go on to the next box here. Okay, you got to figure out your unique value proposition. Anything here as we're going through this, if you're like, man, I need help here, just circle it, okay? Your unique value proposition. What is it that makes you different than anybody else in your industry? And so I'll pick on Ronnie Morales right here just because I know you and I can see you. Okay, Ronnie's phenomenal, and Ronnie does like home remodeling and such. And one of the things I found with Ronnie is he's on time and he's on budget. Is that an accurate statement, Ronnie? And I'm going, a contractor who's on time? Who finishes on time? How many of you worked with a contractor? On time, on budget? They're like, well, man, what happened was, you see, we ran into what we call a cabinet issue. And I was talking to my guys, and I know I said it'd be done by Thanksgiving. Now, I didn't know you were talking about this Thanksgiving, because now, so how many had that? Who's had a contractor you hired die? I've had 2 so far. It's awesome. I call my guy. No, true story. I call my guy. Hey, we're flipping a house. This is a true story. It's a real story. This is the real conference. This is the stuff behind the stuff. You'll never find a conference like this, and very few people come back. Okay, but this guy, I call the guy, and I'm like, dude, where are you? I'm trying to flip a house. This is back right before I met you, Kirk. I was flipping a lot of houses. So I get a hold of this guy. I'm like, where are you? And he's like, I got to be honest with you. I go, yep. Did you like that part?
I got to be honest.
Thank you, which means previous to now you've been, okay. Yeah. He's like, I got to be honest. I got to be honest with you. Have you noticed how people can become very succinct and articulate when they begin to lie? I have to be honest with you because I believe in transparency. This is like their YouTube mental health coach coming out. And so I believe in alignment, and we're working together on this synergy. It's a win-win. We're working together. I am lobster fishing. I'm like, in Oklahoma? No, I have not been in Oklahoma for several weeks. Now, this is before you can pop up a Nest camera on your job site. By the way, if you're a contractor, put up a Nest camera on your job site so you see where the employees are. He said, I have been lobster fishing for a while now, and I have been very successful. I'm learning it, and I'm working through it. It's been good. I've been dealing with a lot. True story. And then he died. So then I'm like, well, now I got to find another contractor. No, true. How many of you flipped a house or project or you're remodeling your kitchen or whatever, you know? And these people, their concept of like being on time, on budget is just not there. I had it happen recently. You know about this. I had another guy die recently. Don't let me hire you. Okay. But anyway. So, this guy's like the Bill Clinton of hiring remodelers. This guy, all I know. But this other guy, you know what I'm talking about. He's not doing the projects, he's dead. Okay. Mena, Arkansas. Okay. But so Ronnie, I said, man, you're on time, you're on budget. I'm like, we need to work with that. So a big emphasis at moralesbrothers.net is we've been making sure we're getting lots of video testimonials from people. Can we pull up one, Ronnie, a recent one? Let's click on testimonials. Let's click on the one on the top left. This thing is hot. This will make he's in Texas. He's in Texas, Ronnie. Hit play. Crank it up.
I'm Danielle Miller.
I'm Josh Miller.
And we decided that we wanted to do a couple of projects in our home. So we went on Google. I looked at a lot of the construction companies in our local area. I looked at pictures. I looked at reviews. I looked at the company in general. And then I called for an appointment. Had somebody come out and do a little interview here and tell me what he thought and what he could do in the house, and I was very impressed, so we hired you. So we purchased 2 products, actually 3. We did this wall unit in the living room, which is where the TV stays.
Pause. I want to hear from you. What about this testimonial works? It's real? What makes it real, Mr. Ernie? Yeah. And again, those video testimonials are worth so much money because I'm telling you, I've hired in my life, no exaggeration, probably 100 contractors, and I've probably had 5 that I would speak to again. No, I'm being real because the way I manage, is like, if you're dishonest, I'm going to deal with it. This is how I manage. You know what I mean? So we were doing the Riverwalk, Kirk. We moved the Riverwalk. We hired a contractor, you know. I paid this guy money to renovate, and then he just ghosted. So I drove to his house because he's in Tulsa. I looked at him, and his name, not you, different Randy, not related. I looked him in his face. I said, different guy, I love this Randy. But I look at this Randy, I said, hey, Randy, I want you to know I paid you to finish my, he's like, get out of my house, I'll call the cops. I'm like, I'm not in your house, I'm at the threshold of your house. Could get in, though. So I need you to finish the project on time, and if not, I will continue telling everybody that I know that you are a worthless sack of crap. And he's like, you wouldn't. I'm like, oh, I would. Like a S-storm of 1-star reviews coming in hot. Because I've paid you. And he's like, well, I'm going through a lot. I don't care what you're going through. You'll be going through a lot more soon. And he's like, well, you're so mean. I'm like, I am the meanest person ever. When you say you're going to finish on time and on budget, you're not on time, you're not on budget, and I'm going to hold you accountable. It's going to happen. So I called up everybody that I knew who knew him, and I said, there's a guy named Randy. Not this one. This is a great Randy. He's redefining what it means to be a Randy, this guy. He's changing the name. So I called him up. I called everybody he knew that I knew. And I said, hey, I got a guy named Randy. You know him. I know him. I paid him money. He didn't finish the project. If you could please encourage him to finish the project, okay? Because Operation Whoop-Ass is about to occur. And then he calls me. You're threatening me. Absolutely. I am on it all day. I'm like a unrelenting. You have no idea how much hate and venom is behind me. I will just follow you nonstop. And he finished. And then we never speak again. But that's how you get on time, on budget, because he said, I'll be on time, on budget. We had to move into the Riverwalk. You remember that your wife was there? And so we had to move into the Riverwalk, and he just didn't understand the idea, and he was 3 weeks over on budget, over on time. He's on Facebook having a good time. On Facebook, he's at the beach. Meanwhile, he's not finishing, right? So on time, on budget, I thought, that is a unique thing for you. And so that was your unique value proposition. We still refine that, but that's important. Next box, improve the branding. Go to shawhomes.com. Shawhomes.com is a website where it's kind of like your online billboard, online commercial, online ad, online business card, whatever you want to call it. It converts leads.
A lot. Yeah.
And Aaron, can we pull up your Lucky Orange?
A lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to pull up a tool. Everyone should write this down. It's called luckyorange.com. Luckyorange.com. And this is my final tool, and then we'll take a stop here. How many of you are kind of old school? Anybody old school? Anybody old school? Anybody like, if someone's not on time, it bothers you? Okay, we're on the same team. Okay. Anybody, if you're not like that, that's totally fine, but I just want you to know that's my bias. I'm like, if I'm not on time, I hate myself. I'll hate myself. Hey, why are you yelling at yourself? Because I was late by 1 minute. Oh my God, I just hate myself. Okay, so I'm all about on time, on budget, get it done, action. That's what I'm all about. So maybe somebody else isn't. That's okay. But I'm just trying to tell you my bias. And the reason why I bring up Clay Stairs and I bring up Aaron Antis and different clients is everybody comes at business for different personalities that God gave you. But I'm just trying to teach you these principles, okay? So we move on to this box here. You got the box pulled up there? Okay, this is luckyorange.com. And this is Aaron Antis's website, shawhomes.com. Now, when people visit the website, what's the goal? Ryan Wells, what's the goal? You want to convert them to become a customer. Right. That's the goal, right? We want to generate leads. So if we click on your homepage, Aaron, now I'm just going to help somebody out there. This is a tool.
Just, you guys, that definition right there can be huge. The reason why when people come to our website, the purpose to go to my website is to turn into a customer. It's not to sit down with a cup of coffee and just spend time on your website. The idea is for them to become a customer. So we need to build a website that turns people into customers, not a website that's just a beautiful experience for them. Okay?
And we're gonna
huge.
And we're gonna drill down into each of these things. I'm just trying to set the case for what we're talking. We're gonna work through page 5. The whole conference is page 5. The whole thing is right here, page 5. But the purpose of it is page 4. I want you to create time freedom and financial freedom for your life, for your family, so you can live in abundance and do what you want to do, while also teaching you how to threaten contractors to get stuff done on time. Okay. So if you look at shawhomes.com, this is the website, and you see all the traffic. It's all going to the top right. The top right. That's the contact us button. Okay. Now scroll down. Nobody goes to the bottom of the website. The reason why I say this is because to get to the top of Google, I'm going to teach you how to do it. But so many people obsess with the time and energy of work optimizing parts of the website that no one ever goes to. Okay? It's called Above the Fold, and all the action happens right above the fold. Do you see that at the top? So there's a tool called Lucky Orange. You want to install this on your website. It's a great tool, so it allows you to see where people are clicking. And what you want is you want to have a unique value proposition, and you want to have branding, and this is where we'll stop this session. Branding works like this. We'll talk more about it, okay? Branding is the perception people have of you, okay? So someone's watching online going, he's wearing a hoodie. He's lost his mind. Some of you remember where I refused to ever dress up again, and then I had to dress up again because of the tour. So we'll deal with that. But branding is how you perceive somebody or something when you look at it. Your first perception. So as an example, if a man is proposing to a woman, my friend Michael Levine, he was the top PR consultant for Michael. This is pre-Christ for me. I didn't know what I know now then. Okay, he was the PR consultant of choice for Michael Jackson, Prince, Bill Clinton, and George Bush at the same time. He is the one who invented the story, which is not true, that Michael Jackson slept in a hyperbaric chamber. Remember that story? Ow! Michael Jackson could not possibly be sleeping with kids because he sleeps alone in a hyperbaric chamber. He made up that story, Michael Levine. Okay, that's his thing. You can look him up. You can find it. So Michael was the PR guy, and he has this idea. He calls it the Tiffany theory, that if a man presents a woman with a ring in a Tiffany box, she will perceive it to have a higher value than if he presents her with a ring and a Kmart bag. So a shady and dishonest man, and I've only known one person to have done this move, could buy a fake cubic zirconium, whatever you know what I mean? Where it kind of looks real, but it's not. And he could put it in a Tiffany box, and the receiver would not know that it's bogus based upon the branding. Or if you took a legit ring and put it in a Kmart bag, people would reject it because of the Kmart branding. One, people go, where did you find that? Is there a Kmart? Wow, that's awesome. Okay, so the branding is a big thing, okay? So we're going to deal with branding. So what we're going to do now is it's 7:56. We're going to take a break here till 8:10, and the band is going to play. We'll come back here at 8:10. Feel free to voice your complaints, grab a coffee, use the restroom, whatever. We'll come back here at 8:10.
Yeah, be sure to get your questions on the board, too.
Any questions you have, put them on the board, and then we'll be hearing from Steve Currington a little bit again. But put your questions on the board. We'll come back here at 8:10. Band, hit it!
The number of new customers that we've had is up 411% over last year. We are Jared and Jennifer Johnson. We own Platinum Pest and Lawn and are located in Owasso, Oklahoma. And we have been working with Thrive for business coaching for almost a year now.
Yeah. So what we want to do is we want to share some wins with you guys that we've had by working with Thrive. First of all, we're on the top page of Google now. Okay. I just want to let you know what type of accomplishment this is. Our competition, Orkin, Terminex, they're both $1.3 billion companies. They both have 2,000 to 3,000 pages of content attached to their website. So to basically go from virtually non-existent on Google to up on the top page is really saying something. But that's come by being diligent to the systems that Thrive has, by being consistent and diligent on doing podcasts and staying on top of those podcasts to really help with getting up on with their listing and ranking there with Google.
And also we've been trying to get Google reviews, asking our customers for reviews. And now we're the highest rated and most reviewed pest and lawn company in the Tulsa area. And that's really helped with our conversion rate. And the number of new customers that we've had is up 411% over last year.
Wait, say that again. How much are we up?
411%.
Okay, so 411% we're up with our new customers. Amazing.
Right. So not only do we have more customers calling in, we're able to close those deals at a much higher rate than we were before. Right now, our closing rate is about 85%, and that's largely due to, first of all, like our Google reviews that we've gotten people really see that our customers are happy, but also we have a script that we follow. And so when customers call in, they get all the information that they need. That script has been refined time and time again. It wasn't a one and done deal. It was a system that we followed with Thrive in the refining process, and that has obviously the 411% shows that system works.
Yeah. So here's a big one for you. So last week alone, our booking percentage was 91%. We actually booked more deals, more new customers last year than we did the first 5 months. Or I'm sorry, we booked more deals last week than we did the first 5 months of last year from before we worked with Thrive. So again, we booked more deals last week than the first 5 months of last year. And it's incredible. But the reason why we have that success is by implementing the systems that Thrive has taught us and helped us out with. So.
Some of those systems that we've implemented are group interviews. That way we've really been able to come up with a really great team. We've created and implemented checklists. That way everything gets done and it gets done right. It creates accountability. We're able to make sure that everything gets done properly, both out in the field and also in our office. And also doing the podcast, like Jared had mentioned, that has really, really contributed to our success. But that, like I said, the diligence and consistency in doing those and that system has really, really been a big blessing in our lives. And also, it's really shown that we've gotten the success from following those systems.
Yeah. So before working with Thrive, we were basically stuck. Really no new growth with our business. And we were in a rut, and we didn't know.
The last 3 years, our customer base had pretty much stayed the same. We weren't shrinking, but we weren't really growing either.
Yeah, and so we didn't really know where to go, what to do, how to get out of this rut that we're in. But Thrive helped us with that. They implemented those systems. They taught us those systems. They taught us the knowledge that we needed in order to succeed. Now it's been a grind. Absolutely, it's been a grind this last year. But we're getting those fruits from that hard work and the diligent effort that we're able to put into it. So again, we were in a rut. Thrive helped us get out of that rut. And if you're thinking about working with Thrive, quit thinking about it and just do it. Do the action, and you'll get the results. It will take hard work and discipline, but that's what it's going to take in order to really succeed. So we just want to give a big shout out to Thrive, a big thank you out there to Thrive. We wouldn't be where we're at now without their help.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mark Moore. I'm a pediatric dentist. Through our new digital marketing plan, we have seen a marked increase in the number of new patients that we're seeing every month, year over year. 1 month, for example, we went from 110 new patients the previous year to over 180 new patients in the same month. And overall, our average is running about 40 to 42% increase month over month, year over year. The group of people required to implement our new digital marketing plan is immense, starting with a business coach, videographers, photographers, web designers. Back when I graduated dental school in 1985, nobody advertised. The only marketing that was ethically allowed in everybody's eyes was mouth-to-mouth marketing. By choosing to use the services, you're choosing to use a proven turnkey marketing and coaching system that will grow your practice and get you the results that you're looking for. I went to the University of Oklahoma College of Dentistry, graduated in 1983, and then I did my pediatric dental residency at Baylor College of Dentistry from 1983 to 1985.
Hello, my name is Charles Colaw with Colaw Fitness. Today I want to tell you a little bit about Clay Clark and how I know Clay Clark. Clay Clark has been my business coach since 2017. He's helped us grow from 2 locations to now 6 locations. We're planning to do 7 locations in 7 years and then franchise. And Clay has done a great job of helping us navigate anything that has to do with like running the business, building the systems, the checklists, the workflows, the audits, how to navigate lease agreements, how to buy property, how to work with brokers and builders. This guy is just amazing. He's this kind of guy has worked in every single industry. He's written books with like Lee Crockrell, head of Disney, with the 40,000 cast members. He's friends with like Mike Lindell. He does Reawaken America tours where he does these tours all across the country where 10,000 or more people show up to some of these tours. On the day-to-day, he does anywhere from about 160 companies. He's at the top. He has a team of business coaches, videographers, and graphic designers and web developers, and they run 160 companies every single week. So think of this guy with a team of business coaches running 160 companies. So in the weekly, he's running 160 companies. Every 6 to 8 weeks, he's doing Reawaken America tours. Every 6 to 8 weeks, he's also doing business conferences where 200 people show up, and he teaches people a 13-step proven system that he's done and worked with billionaires, helping them grow their companies. So I've seen guys from startups go from startup to being multimillionaires, teaching people how to get time freedom and financial freedom through the system critical thinking, document creation, putting it into organizing everything in their head to building into a franchisable, scalable business. Like one of his businesses has like 500 franchises. That's just one of the companies or brands that he works with. So amazing guy. Elon Musk, kind of like smart guy. He kind of comes off sometimes as socially awkward, but he's so brilliant and he's taught me so much. When I say that, like Clay is like, he doesn't care what people think when you're talking to him. He cares about where you're going in your life and where he can get you to go. And that's what I like most about him. He's like a good coach. A coach isn't just making you feel good all the time. A coach is actually helping you get to the best you. And Clay has been an amazing business coach. Through the course of that, we became friends. I was really most impressed with him is when I was shadowing him one time. We went into a business deal and listened to it. I got to shadow and listen to it. And when we walked out, I knew that he could make millions on the deal. And they were super excited about working with him. And he told me, he's like, I'm not going to touch it. I'm going to turn it down because he knew it was going to harm the common good of people in the long run. And the guy's integrity just really wowed me. It brought tears to my eyes to see that this guy, his highest desire was to do what's right. And anyways, just an amazing man. So anyways, impacted me a lot. He's helped navigate anytime I've got nervous or worried about how to run the company or, navigating competition and an economy that's like, I remember we got closed down for 3 months. He helped us navigate on how to stay open, how to get back open, how to just survive through all the COVID shutdowns, lockdowns, because our clubs were all closed for.
I'm Rachel with Tip Top Canine, and we just want to give a huge thank you to Clay and Vanessa Clark.
Hey guys, I'm Ryan with Tip Top Canine. Just want to say a big thank you to Thrive 15. Thank you to Make Your Life Epic. We love you guys, we appreciate you, and really just appreciate how far you've taken us. This is our old house, right? This is where we used to live a few years ago. This is our old neighborhood. See? It's nice, right? So this is my old van and our old school marketing, and this is our old team. And by team, I mean it's me and another guy.
This is our new house with our new neighborhood. This is our new van with our new marketing, and this is our new team. We went from 4 to 14, and I took this beautiful photo. We worked with several different business coaches in the past, and they were all about helping Ryan sell better and just teaching sales, which is awesome, but Ryan is a really great salesman. So we didn't need that. We needed somebody to help us get everything that was in his head out into systems, into manuals and scripts, and actually build a team. So now that we have systems in place, we've gone from 1 to 10 locations in only a year.
In October 2016, we grossed 13 grand for the whole month. Right now it's 2018, the month of October. It's only the 22nd. We've already grossed a little over 50 grand for the whole month, and we still have time to go. We're just thankful for you, thankful for Thrive and your mentorship, and we're really thankful that you guys have helped us to grow a business that we run now instead of the business running us. Just thank you times 1,000.
The Thrivetime Show, 2-day interactive business workshops, are the highest and most reviewed business workshops on the planet.
You can learn the proven 13-point business systems that Dr. Zellner and I have used over and over to start and grow successful companies. I mean, we get into the specific steps on what you need to do to optimize your website. We're going to teach you how to fix your conversion rate. We're going to teach you how to do a social media marketing campaign that works. How do you raise capital? How do you get a small business loan? We teach you everything you need to know here during a 2-day, 15-hour workshop. It's all here for you. You work every day in your business, but for 2 days you can escape and work on your business and build these proven systems so now you can have a successful company that will produce both the time freedom and the financial freedom that you deserve. You're going to leave energized, motivated, but you're also going to leave empowered. The reason why I've built these workshops is because as an entrepreneur, I always wish that I had this. And because there wasn't anything like this, I would go to these motivational seminars, no money down, real estate, Ponzi scheme, get motivated seminars, and they would never teach me anything. It was like you went there and you paid for the big chocolate Easter bunny, but inside of it was a hollow nothingness. And I wanted the knowledge, and they're like, oh, but we'll teach you the knowledge after our next workshop. And And the great thing is we have nothing to upsell. At every workshop, we teach you what you need to know. There's no one in the back of the room trying to sell you some next big get-rich-quick, walk-on-hot coals product. It's literally, we teach you the brass tacks, the specific stuff that you need to know to learn how to start and grow a business. And I encourage you to not believe what I'm saying, and I want you to Google the Z66 auto auction. I want you to Google elephant in the room. Look at Robert Zellner and Associates. Look them up and say, are they successful because they're geniuses, or are they successful because they have a proven system? When you do that research, you will discover that the same systems that we use in our own business can be used in your business. Come to Tulsa, book a ticket, and I guarantee you it's going to be the best business workshop ever, and we'll even give you your money back if you don't love it. We've built this facility for you, and we're excited to see you.